weird. Thank you, Elle. Thank you, Nina. I want to thank Ellen for being on this wild, strange trip with me for all these seasons. Grey's Anatomy, which was my first job in television, my very first series, and Ellen's as well, is 15 seasons old. And Ellen and I have become forever linked by our lives. We are both mothers raising 3 children of color in a world that needs so much change. And we are linked by the character we created together, Meredith Grey, who is a very smart, competitive woman with a fierce drive and a deep heart and a very messed up childhood. Ellen, you and I have truly grown up together. We have grown together. We have grown into our power together. We have learned from one another, and we have taught each other, and we have supported each other. And over the years on this show, Ellen and I have discovered how powerful we are, both separately and together, because I don't know if any of you out there know this, but when Ellen and I are working together to get what we want, what we deserve, we make a truly terrifyingly powerful, awesome pair of badass women warriors. Yeah. Over the course of the seasons, Ellen and I went from believing that we were employees of a network to understanding that we were the network. In a world in which women of all colors are constantly forced to battle with men for equity and inclusion, we had the good fortune to work in an environment that we had nurtured and built with enough of our sweat and tears over enough years that we no longer needed to battle men to get to the top of a mountain. We just built our own mountains, and then we realized that all we had to do was simply equalize and include one another. And I tell you this for 2 reasons. 1, I'm awesome. And I work with a ton of other equally awesome women. And women do not brag enough. The other day, I came to this conclusion that men brag and women hide. And even when they don't deserve to brag, men brag. Trump, Kavanaugh. And when men do deserve to brag, they are good at it. They do it so well. Men brag about everything, even things that aren't things. But women. So a little while ago, in an inspiring article, Ellen told the world she was the highest paid woman in dramatic television. Yes. She did not hide. She bragged. She said she was powerful, and she said she deserved it. And there was some blowback. And there should not have been. I have seen 1,000 articles like that from men. But she's a woman, and she shouldn't say things like that. She should hide. And I was really mad on her behalf. But then what did I go and do? Ryan Murphy, bless your amazingly talented heart. When Ryan, who is here and right there, made his amazing deal with Netflix, what did he do? He shouted his salary to the world, and he did this gorgeous cover shoot for the photo of The Hollywood Reporter, and he deserved every minute of it, and I applauded him. When I made a deal with Netflix, I let them report my salary wrong in the press, and then I did as few interviews as possible, and then I put my head down and I worked. In other words, I hid. I'm getting this award for inspiring other women, and how can I inspire anyone if I'm hiding? So, let me take a deep breath. And on behalf of women everywhere, in the name of not leaving my sister hanging, I will brag. And I gotta say, this is harder than I thought. I am the highest paid showrunner in television. My hands are shaking. And I deserve it. Which is, how's that for girl power? How's that for girl power, and how's that for a little black girl magic? And my point is that we need to set an example, because I am awesome, and we are awesome, which is another way of saying we have power. We are powerful women. And when we say we have power, what we are really saying is we deserve to have power. We deserve whatever good thing it is we are getting. Demanding what you deserve can feel like a radical act. We live in a world in which only men are allowed to scream and cry and demand, even in places like Senate hearings. Women who scream or cry and demand or deserve are not sympathetic. Women who do that are deemed difficult. They are called crazy. They are labeled the bitches who need to go. We need to support the incredible, powerful women around us. We need to encourage that power. We need to delight in it. We need to make sure that the power of other women is enjoyed and celebrated. We need to all agree to be difficult, crazy bitches who need to go. Which brings me to my second reason for saying all of this. Throughout my career, at every turn, at every step, I have found at the heart of every last one of my successes profound and amazing women with whom I have had the good fortune to work, with whom I have formed incredible sisterhood bonds, women so different from me who have changed who I am at my core. I think of the actors, Ellen, Sandra Oh, Amy Brenneman, Kerry Washington, Katie Lowes. I think of writers like Krista Vernoff and Jenna Bands, and directors like Debbie Allen. The smart women who forced me into my nice clothes, like Dana Asher and Orselina Garcia. All of the extraordinary women I work with at Shondaland. Channing Dungey at ABC, the unbelievable posse of women power and friendship that I found over the past year with the women of Time's Up. My nanny, who is basically the single most important working woman on the planet. The 3 daughters I come home to every day. At every turn, there are women, good women, great women, leaning on and learning from and leading one another, providing inspiration and hard work and community, making it feel a little bit easier to fight this good fight. So I tell you the story of Ellen and me because I want to make a point, this point. The struggle we are in the midst of that feels so hard is hard, but it is not impossible. Not if you have a community, a real one, a supportive one. And tonight we have one another. But there are women out there who are struggling alone, who do not have other women on their set, who may be the only person of color in their company, who may be older than you are used to, or younger, or browner, or less abled, women who you have forgotten to include in your conversations and your world. Be a person who pulls other women, new women, different women into your circle. Widen your circle to hold more people. Lose your judgments of who someone is based on what you've heard or what you assume. Make some friends. Find some new sisters. Come together, work together, brag together, be powerful together. And whenever we can, we should be lifting one another up. Because lifting someone up is what lifts us. That is the point. Thank you.